I want to talk to that person who feels defeated, who feels overwhelmed, who feels like they just are waiting for someone or something to come and save the day. And I want to tell you that God has already sent your answer. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. And today I'm not going to be before you long because I just have a really quick message that I wanted to share with you. Okay. I want to talk to that person who feels defeated, who feels overwhelmed, who feels like they just are waiting for someone or something to come and save the day. And I want to tell you that God has already sent your answer, which is you. And you're not picking up the weapon that He has already given you. Now, what's interesting is many times we are waiting for an outside source. We are waiting for something on the outside to come and to deliver us, to set us free, or to bring an answer, or to, before we decide to make a move or before we decide to do something ourselves, right? And one of the things that I've been learning through my journey and my walk with God is that He oftentimes already has presented the answer. We just are not picking up on it, or we're just not realizing it. See, a lot of times we're waiting for an outside source, and God's like, no, but I want to use you, right? Like sometimes you're in a predicament, you're in a situation, and you don't know what to do. You're praying about it, you're waiting for an answer, and it just feels like nothing is coming. But I want to challenge you to think, what has God already provided me with? What has God already given me so that I may put to work that I'm not putting to work, that I'm not doing anything with? I always think about the story of that. There's a couple stories that I always think about. One of them is a story of the widow who had debt that needed to be paid. And she goes to Elisha, the prophet, and she's just like essentially she's asking for a direction. She's asking for help. And Elisha says, what do you currently have? Like, what do you have in your hand? And she essentially says, like, all I have is a little bit of oil. I don't have anything, right? Because she thought she did not have the answer to her need, right? To what she needed. And in fact, she did. She actually did. She just needed to trust God and use what it was that she had in her hand. And Elisha essentially told her, go to all your neighbors and collect jars, multiple jars, and then go in your home, close your door, and begin to pour the little oil that you have, begin to pour it in those jars. And then she eventually finds that she continued to pour and pour and pour. And the only time the oil stopped pouring is when she ran out of jars. And then I also think about the story in the New Testament when they needed to feed the, more than 5,000 people. And they used 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish that they had in the midst, that they had before them. And it's like the answer many times is within what you already have. The answer many times is already in you. Like many times the answer is already in you, or it's already something that is in your hand. And I want us to get to this place, myself included, where we stop waiting and waiting and waiting, and we begin to ask and we say, God, what have you given me? What do I have in my hand right now? Or what do I have in me right now that I'm able to partner with you and put to use so that I may see the results and the answer that I am waiting for, right? Because again, many times we have the answer. We already have it in our hand. We just don't know what to do with it. Because a lot of times we don't see the value in the things that we have because we deem them to be too small or too little or too whatever, right? But it's the very things that we reject or that we undervalue or that we don't appreciate. It's those very things that God can use once we surrender it to Him and we partner with Him. And so I just want to challenge you to think, what has God given me? What has God already put inside of me? What are some things that I already have in my hand that I could put to use, that I can partner with God and put to use so that that may end up serving me the way that it needs to, right? Instead of just waiting for something to magically appear or magically come, whatever it is that you have, just surrender it before God. Surrender it before God and say, Lord, use this, right? Like this little that I have, use it. I'm surrendering it to you and I want to partner with you. What gift do you have that you're waiting for something like extreme and to look like this person and perform like that person and whatnot? But what has God already gifted you with right now that you could partner with Him and put to use? Because a lot of times we don't see what God sees. And so we don't see what God is able to do with something that we deem to be too small. Okay. And so what has God given you? What gifts, what talents, what resources has he given you? What has he blessed you with physically that you could put to use, right? Like, begin to ask God to open your eyes and to show you what he has put before you that you don't even realize. The answer that may be right there before you that you don't even realize. And you'll come to find that there are some situations where the answer was staring at you the whole time. And the other thing that I want to encourage you with is this. Sometimes we are wrestling with spiritual warfare, and we're wrestling, and it feels like we're getting wounded left and right. Like the battle is coming, the hits are coming, and they're hitting, and we're getting wounded left and right. But I want to remind you that you already have something that God has already given you to overcome. You have the word of God, which is the sword of the Spirit. The sword is a weapon that you can use. I mean, that's the weapon that Jesus used when he was in the wilderness and the enemy was trying to tempt him. Time and time again, Jesus used the sword. So many times we have the sword, it is there, but we're unwilling to pick it up and to put it to use. And so you're praying for God to deliver you out of this situation. You're praying for God to do X, Y, Z, and God's like, my child, pick up your weapon that I gave you. Pick up your weapon and use it. What are you waiting for? And so how many of you have this powerful weapon that you've been given and it's just sitting there, barely being put to use, barely being accessed? The attack is coming for your mind. Cool. Pick up your weapon. It's coming for your marriage. Pick up your weapon. It's coming for your finances. Pick up your weapon. Wherever the attack is coming, in whatever area the enemy is warring against you, pick up your weapon. You've literally been given a weapon to fight and to overcome. Why are you unwilling to pick it up and use it daily? Pick up your weapon. Use it every single day. Whatever it wants to come in to attack, use it against it, because you'll find time and time again that you put the weapon to use, you pick it up and you put it to use, it's going to work and do what it needs to do. Okay? So while you're waiting for something miraculous to happen or something from the outside to happen, grab your weapon and begin to put it to use. Because there are some of you who are just sitting there waiting and waiting, not realizing that God is over here like, I've already given you an answer. I've already given you strategy. Pick up your weapon and use the strategy that I've given you. You are not created to be defeated. You are not created to lose. You are created to win. Pick up your weapon.